My mom put me in a place that was like a full psychiatric ward. I used to laugh at those like Malibu 30-day places. They talk about things that pissed me off. I was just like, a little spa vacation for 30 days, like in Malibu, was sort of the opposite of the experience I had. I was in a place for a year and a half called Van Nuys Psychiatric. And you couldn't mess around in there. And if you did, you would get thrown either in the padded room or get put in stretcher restraints and tied up. You know, I think she created a monster and she didn't know what to do with the monster. And this was her last gasp. And I really was out of control. And I forgive her for making this choice. She probably felt like she had nowhere to turn. And I'm sure she lived with a lot of guilt for years about creating the monster, but then I think she lived in a lot of pain that I also wouldn't talk to her for a long time.
And I hated it at first. I had nothing but freedom up until that point, dancing on tables at Helena's and Studio 54 and Limelight and every club on the planet and partying it up, doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And all of a sudden it was, you have no freedom. You will figure out your life, and you have the best insurance policy ever. So you're staying here until we tell you you've changed. And it was so upsetting at first, but over the course of that year and a half, I left there like the most humble person you could ever imagine. Did in a year and a half what probably should have done over the course of 18 years, and I literally left there thinking I will never take anything for granted. It gave me a lot more than like just don't do drugs. It was like, we're gonna help you get out there and live your own life. They were a part of the emancipation program. They worked with the state. Asked us, we're gonna help you figure this out so you can get out of here one day and live on your own.
Really glad there is healing there. And we have spent our whole lives trying to figure things out. I said to my own daughter, you know, she was like, something came up and I said, I'm not your friend. I'll never be your friend. I'm your mother. And I had a mother who was a friend, and we're not gonna do that. I have so much more empathy now to being 46 and a mother of 2 girls. It's hard, and I raised my girls so much more traditionally and quietly and very protectively, and it's such an antithesis to my upbringing. But I can't have her feel bad anymore. I'm sure she's already beat the crap out of herself for having a daughter who wouldn't speak to her. I mean, the pain that I went through from that, I felt so guilty denying my mom access to me. It felt like I was cutting off the source of life. As hard of a feeling as I've ever experienced, definitely the worst pain I've ever known. And I just thought, I have to let this go. Like, what is this doing for either of us? I think she's old enough now to be in a different place in her life. And I know the changes that I've made and how long they took. I know that's possible for people. So why not her too?